The day of the outbreak, some of the biggest names in the corporate world chartered flights to Texas. As chance would have it, it was the Ark, rather than one of her sister ships, that was sitting in the port of Texas City, just waiting to take them to safety. The cost of a ticket on the USS Apocalypse? $17.4 million per man, woman and child, with an additional $12 million for each member of staff who took a space in the lower, less luxurious quarters. All this was payable before boarding, with a third of it up front as a non-refundable deposit at the time of booking. Noah remembered that first day as if it was yesterday. He remembered how he had felt like the king of the world. He had watched the figures stack up on the computer screen, his eyes disbelieving. He didn't realize at the time, though, that it would all be worthless. He had expected some level of normality to resume after the outbreak had been contained, after the governments of the world had broken out their emergency plans and dealt with the disaster. But alas, it was not to be. They had picked up the broadcasts that the UK had remained unaffected shortly after they set sail. They had got as close as they could, but the Royal Navy had made it very clear they were not welcome, so they travelled the Atlantic looking for safe harbour and finding none. A few months after the UK and Ireland stopped broadcasting, they began to make their way back to Europe. All this time they had hoped to find somewhere to land, somewhere to start afresh, but all they found was their food supplies, their medicines, their everything depleting more each day. Now, though, there was a slim hope. No, hope wasn't the right word. There was no hope for Noah. He realized soon after the Ark had set sail that he was nothing more than a puppet. He would have ended his life some time back, but as ironic as it sounded, he had found some sort of religion. He had prayed for forgiveness for what he had done. He'd prayed a lot, and as much as he wanted to die, he could not bring himself to take his own life, for fear it would offend God. As he thought about it, it sounded ridiculous, but there it was nonetheless. Out of all the shit that he had done, all the scams he had pulled, all of the adultery, the strong-arming, the blackmailing, the cocaine, the prostitutes, male and female, the relief packages sent to African villages that had actually been arms shipments, out of all of what he had done and was still doing, it was the taking of his own life that he was afraid would offend God.